Hello friends, and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're back. If you are new, hi, my name is Rabbit and my pronouns are they, them, and either way, thank you so much for clicking on my video today. So today's video has been kind of a long time coming. I've been able to kind of experiment and tweak and try out these different organizational systems for myself and kind of figure out what's working for me, and I wanted to just kind of share that. So in this video I'm going to show you guys my planner and how I put it together and DIY'd it, and like all of the things that I keep in it and different like pages that I find are important to have. So we'll have like a little flip through of the planner. I'm going to show you guys how I make and also modify Canva templates like to put in my planner so I can have it all like cute and aesthetic and stuff. I'm gonna explain how I use like my phone like notes app and like my capture list as I call it, and I'm gonna do a really quick little talk through of my small experimentation with Notion. So if you're looking for organizational systems, I feel like the new year is always like a lot about that, and there's so many like planners that are coming out and being sold and stuff, and I have always struggled with those because you can never decide exactly what's in them, and like even if like one part of it is like the way I like, the dates are laid out one way, then the months will be laid out a different way, and then there won't be enough space for me to put lists of like things that I need or whatever. So I really like the idea of like a DIY binder. I want to kind of like encourage you, if you're interested, to kind of use what you have and go forth and DIY something that's very like personal and like works for you. So without further ado, if that sounds like of interest to you, please keep on watching. I hope that this kind of like little organizational tutorial and system and whatever flip through is helpful. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so this is the planner cover. It's just this little collage that I did. My first ever digital collage, actually, because normally I like to make these by hand, but nothing crazy, just fun little pastel time. Then we get to the first pages, and what I like for my weekly plans is to just have these sticky note kind of brand planners, and they just have like a little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I like these because my weekly schedules tend to be really messy, and like, if you can see this, and I like to just be able to throw them out after because I don't like to keep my messy notes around, and I can just tuck them up in here. This pocket also keeps my tarot card for the day, and sometimes I'll write myself random notes and they can live in here. I also have some little reminders to myself that are just like kind little words. And then over here I have my daily routine. So my thing with the daily routine is that I really like checklists. I really like being able to go through a list and know exactly what's going to happen. Especially when I started being self-employed and not having my job to go to, I was kind of worried about not keeping up with stuff that I should, like keeping up on walks and going to bed at regular times and this and that. So I wanted to just like make myself a super easy checklist. And to some people this might look ridiculous. Like I remember when Cage looked at this, he was like, do you really need a like check to remember that, like to have breakfast? And like honestly, yes, sometimes I find it really helpful. I just have some certain days that like it just is helpful for me to go through this completely. Some days I don't need this at all, but I do like to have it just to know what my routine can be for the day in a really general way, especially with stuff like lunch. Like I swear to God, if I don't write it down, I just forget to have lunch. Kitty time, like I need to give Lemon 20 minutes of laser therapy every day, and I need to remember to play with Tuna. It's helpful for me to write these things down just so I can like keep myself on track and keep myself accountable. In terms of how I keep track of these things, I erased it for today so like you can see, but I like to just fill in the circle if I've done it with an erasable marker, and then if I haven't done it, I usually just put an X through it, so it's not blank, but I just know that it didn't need to be done for whatever reason that day. At the bottom of this page, I have my weekly chores, and I know some people like to do things just when they need to be done, as in like you take out the garbage when it's full. For me, I like to have a schedule that's like weekly-ish so that I can keep on top of things, because I do find that if I continuously clean the bathroom once a week, it gets a lot less gross if I just like wait to clean it until it gets dirty, for instance. So here is my list of stuff here. Same with like watering the plants. If I do it on Thursdays, I know that I don't overwater them, stuff like that. So it's just helpful for me to have this here. And if I do miss a week, it's fine. Like if I don't clean the bathroom one Friday, then I'll just remember like, oh, I didn't do that last week, so then it never goes too long without getting done because I have like kind of an accountability system built in. And then for this same thing, I'll fill it in by doing this or doing this. If it doesn't get done, I can always like work ahead in the week. So if for whatever reason I want to do my groceries on a Monday instead of a Tuesday, I'll just keep track that I've checked it off, so it all works out. Now, basic calendar over here. It just is helpful for me to know like which days are the weekends and stuff. This I printed, but I've honestly never really used, so next year I'm probably not going to make the yearly planner in this format because it just wasn't useful to me. What I did find useful was these sorts of calendars that have kind of bigger squares, and I like to fill them out with like little stamps to keep track of like different parties or appointments or like things like that, and then I can reference these when I'm writing out my weekly schedule. And then I also like to sometimes keep track of what I've been watching or reading or things that, you know, were important. This was kind of an experiment and it worked out alright, but usually I'm more of a weekly planner than a monthly planner. This is just helpful for knowing things that are like way in the future. On to my personal section of the planner. Here I have kind of more detailed portion of the schedule and like what needs to be done daily versus monthly versus quarterly and weekly. This was more helpful when I started, but I haven't really needed to reference this that much. These I find incredibly helpful. They are incredibly detailed kitchen cleaning checklists and bathroom cleaning checklists that are kind of modeled off a Slob Comes Clean because she's a wonderful, wonderful person. I usually keep a copy of this one in the kitchen and this one in the bathroom just so I don't have to like take my folder in there, which is why it's all like wrinkled because this, I just grabbed it out of the bathroom to put it in here to show you guys really quick. But I really like my instructions on this kind of thing because it helps me feel confident that I've done everything. I've obviously written out the instructions so they're like very specific to my living space and how I work. But yeah, there you go. Now these pages are where I keep track of some different projects, both like personal, like DIYs and things that I want to try to do, and then home projects like repainting the bedroom or like needing to change the bathroom lights. This was in here. And it's just good to keep track of like the supplies that I need, any ideas that I have, action items. In my personal projects I have like this little section for like Halloween ideas, general DIY ideas, supplies that I need to look into, and I have one of these templates for like home, one for personal, one for my business, one for YouTube, and they all look the same. I just like to put sticky notes over them so I can keep the page and just throw out the sticky notes as needed. That way I waste a little less paper. But if you wanted to just write directly on these, I think that's totally fine too. I just very much struggle with keeping things completely digital and remembering to check up on those. I do find it easier to continue to write things down, and part of my idea of having a binder was that I'd be able to keep my notes and stuff in one place, because as hard as I try, I can't keep myself organized in the way where all those notes just end up digitally. I always still end up making like little notes and sketches and things like that because that just is how my brain works, and having a binder makes it so that I can like put those notes and stuff in different sections, and at least even if there's a million of them, I'll know where to find them. So these are personal and home projects. Next I have a section of meal ideas because sometimes I just get stumped and forget everything that I like or have ever made or would like to make. So these are all vegan, obviously, so if you see like hot dogs, it's vegan hot dogs. If you see pierogies, it's vegan pierogies, but I just want to have a section for brainstorming different things that I like to eat. Then this page is to keep track of those cleaning tasks that need to be done a little less frequently, not like on a weekly basis or a daily basis, so like deep cleaning my studio or deep cleaning the litter or whatever. So with this I will just write a little either date or X in the time that I did that, and then I can keep track and be like, oh my gosh, I haven't cleaned out the freezer at all this year, I should probably do that soon. That kind of thing. And then I like to write it in with a pencil so it's erasable. Don't know if you can see it super up close, but you can also write in the specific date. So on this I like deep clean the litter on June 28th, so there's like a little 28 there, so you can remember it that way. But sometimes I don't remember the exact day, so I just will fill it in later with like a little X. Here I have a layout that I've made myself for self-care ideas, for like little small breaks, like if I just need a minute to take a break from work, I can go paint my nails or do a little lip scrub really quick or cuddle my cats, or if it's like a big break or like a kind of reward for a big project that I got done, I could go get sushi or have like a big guilt-free sleep in or something. If I have trouble working, these are some ideas for myself, like lighting a candle or like doing the Pomodoro timer, stuff like that. Ideas for when I'm spiraling, and then I blanked it out for privacy reasons, but these are places to work, like different local cafes and parks that are good if I do not want to work at home. And then this I made actually yesterday. It's a little page of sick day remedies because every time, I swear to God, every time I get sick, I forget like every single thing that makes me feel better, and it takes me a really long time to get better because I feel like the first 3 days of it are just being like trying to continue working and like not accepting the fact that I'm sick and like not taking any meds or anything. So I made a little section of essentials of like different ideas, like a cold compress or like a steam, like, you know, when you put the hot water with the towel over your head. Comfort watches, like different shows and movies I like. Recipes, one that's really simple for when I'm alone or don't really want to cook, and then like one that's a bit more complicated for like if someone wants to cook for me or if I have a little more energy. Medication ideas and food tips for like nausea or like different teas that work for different things. So I have my sick day remedies here, so hopefully next time I get sick I'm a little quicker to get better. And then here I have this, it's like a little hospitality checklist, because whenever I have people coming over, I get stressed out that I like might have forgotten to clean something or do something that's important and like seen as normal, but that I just don't know is a thing. So I have a list that I can double check when I'm feeling anxious and just see that everything is ready to go, and I can have people over and feel comfortable with it. The next section of my planner is my business section. Oh yeah, I also made all these little dividers just with like cardstock paper and little tape at the top. This was, as mentioned, the little Relics of the Rat project. So this is my business ideas, product ideas, website things I need to do, supplies. This would be for markets, but I just haven't done anything for markets and probably won't, so I made this kind of before things were a thing. Supplies, like items that I might want to do for like packaging and stuff in the future. Here I just keep a reference of my like hang tags and adoption tags and stuff like that for, you know, posterity, I guess. And as I mentioned, I'm like very much a physical note taker, and some of them are like important, and even if they like look really messy to other people, this is like very important information to me. So until I transfer it to a nice aesthetic version of itself, if I ever do, it can just live in here and I'll know that I keep that there. The next is my little YouTube section. So here's like my YouTube projects thing. So Halloween, ideas, supplies I need, notes and action items as usual with the sticky notes so that I can throw them out as needed. This is a video planner section that I'm able to fill out with a marker as I go. So plan, film, voiceover, edit, intro, outro, like all the different steps for me that I usually do, different due dates. I haven't really used this yet because my video planners end up looking like this, more like, but whatever. This was an attempt to be more aesthetic and neat about it, but sometimes we can't stop our old habits. And then here I have YouTube ideas that I've organized by like business or lookbooks or like Halloween or miscellaneous or DIYs or whatever, with the little spots for the sticky notes to go. More personal business notes, old video notes, things to reference for future videos, just stuff that I'm keeping for now for whatever reason. And then my favorite section of the binder, oh my god you guys, this is my Halloween section, because for the rest of the year I like to do this pink and white, very like, you know, adorable pastel goth with the little rats and stuff, like aesthetic-y thing. For Halloween, I love to go all out and just do these like massive collages with like all the fun colors and all the fun designs and highlighters and stickers and everything fun. So this was my first ever one that I made in 2021. It's wild how much it's evolved, but like you can see my little like bucket list that I had. And then I think this was the one from this year. So like my wish list of all the stuff and activities that I wanted to do. So we've got stuff like getting a spooky tattoo and stargazing and foraging and going to a castle and visiting an antique shop and all these kind of things. And I like to decorate it obviously with all the fun things. On the back I had my ideas for recipes that I wanted to make, DIYs that I had, videos and stuff for Relics, which my business if you don't know that. I also like to make these very decorated calendars for the seasons. So these are the ones from previous years that I just like to keep for like memory's sake and remembering like different things I did and whatever. This is, I believe, 2023's food and crafts and stuff that I wanted to do. and 2023's wish list of activities. And I have a lot of content on my blog about like all the Halloween vlogs and the making of these pages and stuff, so if that's of interest to you, lots of content out there. But yeah, so those are my kind of Halloween planner pages, and I just like to keep them for posterity reasons and all of that. Then this is a list of house sitter notes that I keep for future reference. This is a list of spooky movies that I've watched and enjoy. And then at the very back of my planner, I just keep some random stuff. So I have a big camping packing list because Cage and I take these annual camping trips every year, and I always like pack the same stuff, so I might as well just have the list where I can check things off with the little boxes on the side. Keeps things organized and makes me feel a lot less anxious. I also have like a 1-week packing list and a 3-day packing list for different trips because, again, I always like kind of pack the same things, and it just makes sense for me to keep lists of what those things are. I also keep notes of things that I want to do for the future. So like this is a little note to self for the next time I go camping. I wanted to add a broom and a dustpan, a rubber spatula, an extra set of like all these things, and I'll keep that next to the camping packing list so I can reference it. Old road trip information. This was some ideas for my planner when I was looking at like bullet journaling and the way those things work. I was looking at like meal planning, layouts and that kind of thing. I did make some meal planners that I can show you guys on Canva, but I mostly use those for trips and not really for everyday purposes. And then here I keep a bunch of random stickers that are super fun and delightful, and sometimes I like to switch out the stickers that I have on the back, but I just keep delightful, exciting ones that I've gotten over time from different humans and stuff in there. So that's super fun. So that's basically what my planner looks like. I like to keep it open because that's the way that I use it the most, but I also wanted to show you guys a little tutorial of like how to make these kind of pages, because I did design all of these myself or edit Canva templates to make them, you know, fun. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. Let's go on to a little Canva tutorial. Alright, let's go. Okay, so we are starting out. This is like where I keep, this is where I keep all my planner information, blank documents, whatever, you get it. So I want to show you guys how I create a new page. So there's a couple of options. The quickest and easiest is obviously to go into their design, and this is one thing that I really like about Canva. Sorry, this isn't like sponsored or anything by Canva or whatever, but you can look up lots of different templates. So for instance, I need to do a 2025 calendar, so we can look at all the different ones that different people have made, and let's say we wanted to do this one. So the thing that I really like about Canva is that you can take this template and say, I don't really like this color, I want this color as my background. And then I don't want to do this font, I keep my fonts in this like little section here where you can see the brand kit. This is a Canva premium thing, but you can change it to the fonts that you have previously decided, and then make it bigger, scoot it in, and it's a little crowded, so let me space out the letters a little bit more. And then for this, we don't like this font, we want to do, let's say, that a little bit smaller. And then we can press change all, and then it'll automatically do that, which is nice. And then we will make them all smaller. Well, I don't like this font in full all caps, so I think we can, yeah, do that to all of them and make them not all caps. So this is kind of one of the ways that you can edit the Canva templates. I find using the Canva templates is really good for when you have something like a calendar or schedule where like it's specific boxes. If you don't want to deal with making those boxes yourself, this is a wonderful way to not have to do that. And then this is pretty good, but it's gonna print a lot of pink ink and I don't really want to do that. So let's go ahead and put some little white squares behind all of the months so that it prints a little less, and then this way if I want to write, like highlight or do specific colors or whatever, then that'll be more visible. And you know, I actually think I want a little border on this. So let's go ahead and put a little tiny border. Yeah, I like that. And then maybe we'll move 2024 up a little bit and take out this line because I don't like that. We can just go ahead and tidy everything, put it in its little corners, pull that font down a little bit. And we'll just copy paste these until we have all the little squares that we need. And that would be how one would modify an existing Canva template. Totally an option, especially if you want to do something like a calendar or like a planner. There's a lot of ones that are already out there, and if you don't like the specific fonts and colors that they've used, you can change them up. This is also, if I figure out how to upload my little Canva templates, I really want to be able to do that. Like maybe if I get a Patreon, I can just upload these here, and that way you guys can download them and change them to your specific colors and fonts that you guys like, or if you like the ones that I used, you can do that. That'll be down the line if I manage to figure it out. But wait a minute, we're supposed to be making a calendar for 2025, I just realized. Is this gonna be the wrong? Okay, so the 14th is a Thursday. Okay. I just realized I was making the wrong okay, whatever. You get the idea though, with this being an option for how to make your calendars, and whatever is to modify the existing ones and just play around with them until you get things the way you want them. I'm not gonna finish this because I just realized I'm doing it for the wrong year. The thing that I am gonna show you how to do is how to make a page from scratch without using one of the like pre-made designs, which honestly I think can be better because then you have a lot more control over exactly what you want to do. So for this, I need to make a company staying over checklist. So like when I have people coming to look after the cats and house sit when Cage and I go away, I wanted to make a little checklist for myself so I remember all the things that I'd like to clean and all the little like to-do items before they come, so that I can feel organized and prepared and all the things. So yeah, company staying checklist. Kind of makes it sound like it's for when people are staying with us, which I guess is also probably a relevant thing. And I already made myself a document earlier with all the information that I wanted to include, and I'll see how I want to organize this once we get it into its proper font. House sitting preparation checklist. I like that title better. Okay, how do I want to organize this? I'm gonna move this to a separate page so I can like have the information there, but I don't need to like copy paste it or like deal with it as it is. Okay, and I'm gonna put little boxes in for everything. Make it a white box with squared up, and then the little black background. And we're gonna start with up to 1 week for all the stuff and chores that can be done quite early. I'm gonna line it up. I like that Canva has the little lines that they do to show you that things are aligned. Copy paste. Why are we changing the font? Who knows? Back to Alice. And then we'll make it longer so it fits. Don't really want it to be centered. I'd like it to be all off to the, not to that side, to that side. Don't really like the bullet points, so I'll take those off. Do I want check boxes? I like check boxes. Yeah, we could definitely do check boxes. Let's line space, change it up like doop. Declutter, clear surfaces, bedroom, living, kitchen, bath. Perfect. Declutter main areas. And what is this font size? 16. That's pretty big. We can make it smaller, but make it further spaced. And then we'll put our little check boxes there. We can go into here and look up checkbox. It's just a little square. We just want a little square to go in. And we'll put that there. Is that a little small? Yeah, I think I don't like how. Can I make the border thicker? Ooh, yeah. That works. We are going to just copy paste that little checkbox that I like to all the areas. There we go. And it's a little bit big, so I'm just gonna scoot this to be a bit, yeah, I like how that fits. Maybe that is also a really big font. And then since I'm happy with that, I'll group all those so they're together. Okay, next, 3 to 5 days before. So I'll just copy paste that. I can use it as kind of like a basic template. 3 to 5 days. Go through checklist, the one that I showed you guys. Do this, dust vacuum. I'll change this to double check the house guide because I'll have one. Basic info, Wi-Fi, emergency contacts, and pet care instructions. And we will bold all of these so they're easier to see. All right, shovel, because I guess it'll depend on whether it's snowing or what. And then we can scoot that on up. Sorry, I feel like this is taking forever, I apologize. Now we're looking like we're getting a little cramped, so let's move that up. And maybe we can make all of our headings a little bit smaller. Okay, and 19 feels good. But as you can tell, it's just like a really big trial and error, little bit by little bit. You eventually figure out the things that you prefer and the way you like them to look. You get there eventually, but it does take a while. But I really enjoy like fiddling and making it look all nice and pretty and working on the aesthetics of everything. And I was really reluctant to get Canva Pro for the longest time because I was like, I can use it with not Canva Pro, so like why would I pay for it? But it's honestly like, I like it a lot. Like I don't think if you're just doing this for personal use it would really make sense, but especially if you have like a business or if you have the funds to like write this off as a business expense, or it's a really great thing for people who are like not super technologically savvy like myself but still want to make cute little aesthetic things like this. It's just like so cute and fun to experiment with it all. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of my information to this. So I'm gonna catch up with you once this is done and we'll talk a little bit more. Okay, so here we are now that everything is somewhat set in order. I'm gonna group all these little guys together. Make sure this is centered. Okay, yeah. I was thinking maybe I'll do something for like a vintage cleaning, so like maybe a potion bottle or something. So I'm in the elements section here. We can look at all the different pictures. Did look at this the other day for something else. Because my idea is I wonder if I want to do it kind of transparent in the background and maybe we'll like send it to the back, so send it back so you can just see like a little bit of it. Might be too detailed. What do we have? Somewhere like that. Not too detailed, but like too long and skinny. That could be a good one. Maybe if we do that with like something, ooh, I like this heart one. I don't know if it really makes sense for like company staying. Oh, the mushrooms are really cute. Also has really nothing to do with company staying, but I like them. Let's make them more transparent. And then maybe a little more off to the side. Don't know. Ooh, the key kind of makes sense because it's like someone staying. Ooh, now I'm like all looking at these fairies and being like, these are really pretty. Do I want to have like a little fairy lady in there? That would be fun. I really like her. She's definitely staying in the picture. Okay, let's make her a little more transparent. And then maybe we'll send her backwards so her arm isn't in. Cute. Okay, I like that a lot. See, similar to this. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, all this like fantasy stuff has been really calling to me lately. So I just have this urge to make it all fantasy themed, even though originally I was like, oh, I'll make it with like feather dusters and like cleaning supplies. It's all vintage and cute. But now I'm like, or I could just make unicorns on it. Because yeah, when you're making your own planner, you don't have to have like a little picture of rubber gloves on the cleaning section. You can have a picture of a unicorn if you want. Who cares? Oh, stop it. And then these I just like to print at my printer at home, so ignore this portion here that says like print your design on notebooks. We're not doing that. Okay. Hello. You guys are cute. We'll flip you and we'll call it a day. I really think I just need to call it at a certain point here. What's this thing? Why not? Okay, so this is an example of how one could make a little Canva design this is the one that I'm gonna be having for my house cleaning checklist now. I think it looks nice. I'm excited to add it to the binder and experiment with it. Like I said, I'll try to get these up in a more succinct way, so if you are also interested in printing these for yourself, you can also use them. But yeah, all in all, I really hope this video was of some use to you. Okay, so that is how I make a Canva page. Then when we want to take it, we will just download it and go current page, and then download it and then print it, and we're good to go. So very, very fun. Now the other thing that I wanted to talk about is my notes app. Basically, I keep this thing called a capture list on my app, which is just this thing that's labeled capture list, where whenever I have like a random idea, I will put it in here, and then I can go through this like once a week, every couple days, whenever it really happens to be, and just add those ideas and organize them more clearly into the binder or wherever they need to go. So for instance, some of the things on here right now are like things that I need to buy, like lint roller, super glue, tape, websites for different sticker production companies that I was looking into, different movies that I was looking to watch, goals for the future, stuff like that just goes into the capture list, and then I know that it like will be dealt with at some point, because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I will have these like random ideas, and before I would just write them down on a random sticky note, lose the sticky note, or it would end up somewhere, and now I know that they're at least in one spot. The other thing that I kind of do a little bit of is Notion, and this has been like a more recent kind of experimentation for me, but I have been enjoying this app. There's a lot more people that have a better explanation of how this kind of thing works, but you can assign priorities to things, you can assign relationships and deadlines. One of the things that I find helpful about it is that for my videos and stuff, I can keep track of what has happened, because sometimes keeping track of it on paper can start looking a little bit messy. So when I have a lot of projects for the future, it can just be helpful to know that they're here. So yeah, I'm not super sure about this yet, but I am trying it out. It's definitely like a little bit of an experimentation. It's cool because you can customize it a lot. So like for instance, if I wanted to open this, I can write in like filming currently, and then if I wanted to add in a photo for it, let's say, sure, I can insert photos into this. So if like I want to keep a reference for a specific photo, like a fashion that I want to try to do, or a specific website that I need to keep track of, or something that I'm referencing, I can put it in the little kind of like note section of this program. So yeah, I'm a little bit new to this whole thing, but you can do a lot with Notion, and it's been a little bit of a learning curve, but I have been doing my best. Alright, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you again so much for watching. It means the world to me, especially till the end. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night or whenever it happens to be that you're watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Alright, bye for now. Have a good one.